Let's embark on the Ark Republic to hear current news that's published. More than gossip and chatter, covering current events.
Greetings wherever you are in the universe. This is our last simulcast of the evening. It is about 11:30-ish. It's about 11:30-ish on the East Coast. And we are speaking to Donovan McNeal. Donovan McNeal has been a two-time junior reporter here at Ark Republic. He is a student of Howard University and also a journalism major. I introduced you and I didn't even give you a word in edgewise. How are you doing, Mr. McNeil?
I'm doing very well today. A bit tired. I've been awake since about 7 a.m. reporting for Howard University today. And we're set up on campus doing news coverage for the School of Communications, and I'm doing some reporting for my school newspaper as well at Hilltop. So it's been a very busy day, but it's been a very exciting day. Like nothing like I've ever experienced before. So I'm glad to have taken a part of this coverage.
Yeah, no, this is definitely going to be a momentous time in your life that you look back on. But let's get into it because you are here for work, 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 work. So,
Right.
what is what is the mood or energy on Howard's campus? How can you describe that?
Um, I would describe it as like explosive, kind of chaotic. I feel like it's been just a huge amount of people on campus today. Actually, I'm not sure if you've taken notice, but the Harris campaign, well, obviously they're setting up here tonight. We still have yet to receive word if President Harris actually has arrived or like VP Harris has arrived yet, but there's so many people out here. Almost 1.5 million people signed up to arrive on campus today. We haven't received numbers yet about how many people are actually here, but it's definitely hundreds. I would say hundreds of thousands. Like Georgia Ave, the street near DC is completely lined up. They barricaded the streets so people can like kind of navigate in easier and out. And yeah, outside of just students, it's just a wide array of people, Democratic supporters, people fans of the Harris campaign and the Walls campaign. And yeah, the energy is just huge out here. People are excited, and I guess they're just anxious to await the results like the rest of us.
Right, yeah. And right now, well, I know you said Trump is in the lead right now, and Harris is starting to creep up. But like you said, the West Coast, California is a huge one that hasn't been counted. And, there's a lot of electoral votes with that. But with that being said, before we get into the major elections, are there any measures in DC or anything that you want to talk about that has been in conversation on the campus of HU or in your community?
Yeah, definitely on HU and in the greater area. Like downtown DC, all of the buildings and businesses are boarded up completely. I
Wow.
would assume NPD kind of alluded to this to avoid like rioting and stuff, just in case whoever's elected, if it incites some type of violence in the area. Um, that's taking place. Like I mentioned on Howard's campus, the campus is completely barricaded right now. Like they have like the kind of the similar gates they use at the rallies to like just hold people back in case they want to like break through the barricade, I guess. Also there's MPD and HUPD, Howard University Police, like everywhere. Like they pretty much have locked in the area, made like a grid. So like you can't come on Georgia Ave, the main street in DC to drive. They shut it down from like Harvard Street to like I think like Florida Ave, which is like a 4 block radius. Um, so it's very, very, very secure. Secret security's here. Actually, funnily enough, a lot of my friends were in the yard yesterday, like the main part of Howard, and like Secret Service. Like if you try to go to Chick-fil-A or like the campus store or anything, they would like actually be like, "Yo, you have to leave like now. Like it's
Wow.
serious."
Oh, wow. Okay. So
So
what
students
are
are packing place about that.
so are you going to spend the night there? Are you on campus?
I am on campus right now.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, 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 okay. All right. It was like, well, how are you moving? Um,
Yeah, I have yet to go to the yard actually, where everything's taking place. But I've received word, I've seen videos, I've had friends call me about it. Like it's just crazy.
it's just crazy. All right. Well, we're going to make this really short and sweet. So let's get to these major elections. What has been kind of from based on your coverage on both sides? What has been some of the things that you've been hearing in the channels?
Right. So I've covered some. I actually just got finished covering a story about like Republican voter reception to the election. I guess we went to a huge like Republican watch party in DC. I think it was the only one in DC because there was a lot of news outlets there, and like surprisingly enough, a lot of the Trump supporters that we were able to actually interview, we couldn't get into the bar because they were restricting us or media, but a lot of them were actually foreign citizens who come to America and are just very supportive of Donald Trump. They like his foreign policy, his immigration policy, his economic policy, and they feel like his is just leagues above Kamala Harris's. Interestingly, even though they can't vote legally as citizens.
Yeah, I was about to say, is it a voting population, or these are just looking at the political play of things?
Yeah, they're just looking at the political play,
Okay.
and they just align more so with his beliefs.
Well, I mean, I'm not surprised. When I lived in Italy, during the Biden Trump elections, there were a lot of pro-Trump folk, and was telling me that, if you know, supported anything else, then you were a fool. So I'm not definitely surprised about that. What do you foresee if a Harris win happens?
What do I foresee? But speaking from the university's perspective, I see a huge, ginormous celebration, unprecedented celebration. I think it will really instill a sense of just HBCU like just love and like pride, like across just in the Black community in general. But yeah, I could definitely see people coming far and wide to come celebrate. I know Howard students, faculty, everybody's just going to be turned up all week. I could also see it just kind of sparking a not to like incite any like fears or anything, but I could see it sparking some type of controversial behavior, maybe some type of protest.
Mm.
There's actually we received word today that the KKK might be present in DC, making rounds. So, always praying that nothing bad happens like that. But, on both sides, I could see a huge reaction.
Mhm. Yeah. So with that, what if Trump win happens? What are you preparing for?
Hmm. Um, well, certainly preparing for just how trying to just move in media. I think a lot of us um we're trying to mentally prepare for both sides. So it's just a thing of where trying to just report the facts regardless of what happens. And also, I could see it kind of forming some type of culture, maybe
Mm.
within his supporters, kind of like emboldening them, empowering them, maybe to
Mhm.
feel like they might have more power and ability than what the law permits. I've kind of been getting that vibe a little bit.
Mhm. Well, we will see on the other side of this what your thoughts have been and what your experiences are. But for now, I want you to stay safe, keep your head on a swivel. I thank you for taking time out in this very busy schedule. All last thoughts and words go to my guests. Anything that I didn't ask that you want to say today?
Um, I wanted to make mention of another interesting kind of like political battle going on the ballot, specifically in DC. Ward 8, they have their run for county county councilman for Ward 8, Trayon White. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but he was accused earlier this year of bribery, like embezzling money. But surprisingly, his ward, despite the claims and allegations, they are sticking very strongly with him. Like they feel like he's the best voice for their community. I feel like it hasn't been too much like represented too much because of the huge battle, which is the presidential election. But I found it to be a very interesting story about his case.
You know what? I kind of sort of do remember it, because he's like in his 40s, right?
Yeah, he's a pretty young guy.
Yeah, he's a pretty young guy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why is this an interesting case?
Because he's I think it's an interesting case because it kind of represents the black community and their solidarity with each other. Despite him facing allegations, I remember I read a story about a Washington Post. I can't remember the reporter, but he kind of like he did like an anecdotal lead painting the scene of like Mr. White being in the church with his community and them like surrounding him with like love and like support despite him fighting this battle. He still has to go to the courts and go through that whole procedure, but they're standing by him and they honestly might elect him again despite allegations.
Do you feel that, are you familiar with Marion Barry? I mean, that's like everybody knows Marion Barry if you lived in DC, right?
Right, right. Well,
Somewhat. A little bit. Okay. All right.
Because I'm still kind of new to the
You
area.
young, you young, you young. Okay. All right. But I'm about to say maybe this is the community, might be saying, we learned from Marion Barry and not maybe fully surrounding him and helping him through his addiction crises. Maybe
Mhm.
we're going to, wrap around and support Wright in his dealings with the possible improprieties. But this solidarity is going to be very interesting, because we also have to learn how we hold each other accountable within this solidarity, right?
Right.
Um, so with all that being said, all right, we have anything else, Mr. McNeil?
I think that was everything I want to talk about, but it's been a pleasure speaking with you, Dr. Shriver, as always. I'm glad you gave me the opportunity to do this.
Thank you so much. For those of you who are listening, Mr. McNeil is, like I said, one of our junior reporters. As a matter of fact, several of the people who are covering the 2024 elections actually went through Ark Republic's internship junior reporter, Mr. McNeil being one. Sebastian Prats, you've seen him. Another, and Matthew Gamble, who is wicked with the pen. He was actually in the first cohort. So it warms my heart to know that a piece of me is floating around somewhere in the media ecosystem. So hats off to you, young man, and I'll be talking to you on the other side of the election.
Okay.
All right.
All right.